So we're going to go to our next question. Remember, on today's program, we are focusing on financial mathematics, growth, and decay. And we just did a question on the application of the future value annuity, which is a case where you've got nothing and then you're building to try and raise money, right? So we're going to use the future value annuity. If you have to do those payments or those deposits, right, every month or periodically, right, continuously, then it's definitely an annuity. So the next question is the one that involves the present value annuity, the other side of the coin of annuities, right? There's present value where we start with a large amount, we are decreasing that amount to zero. You start with a lot of money, we're going to have to pay that off until we owe nothing. That works mostly in loans because financial institutions are very good at giving people loans because they know they're going to make a lot of money from that. So this one that you're going to be looking at is a loan question. In a loan question, we use the present value formula most of the time. Why? Because you start with a lot of money that we are giving you at the present moment, right now. We say, here it is, one people, right now, take it. Once you've got it, and then it's going to start depreciating and depreciating and depreciating. You're actually decreasing, dropping the amount that you owe by making continuous payments. And the process is called amortizing the loan, right? You amortize the loan until you don't owe anything at all. So you're moving from a large amount to nothing, right? So let's see what will happen in that case. The one we're working with says here, Spogazi bought a house, right? Okay, this is cool. And she pays a deposit. Pays a deposit of 102,000 rands, which is equivalent to 12% of the selling price. Ooh, okay, of the house. Now, she obtained a loan from the bank. So a lot of people, once they start seeing the loan, at the back of their minds, they know that once it says loan, we're going to basically use the PV value. It's not all the time. You've got to be careful of what is going on, right? A loan from the bank to pay the balance of the selling price. The bank charges her interest of 9% per annum, compounded monthly. So they're charging her on the loan 9% per annum, compounded monthly. Now, most of the time, I always encourage my learners to do this. When they put a question such as a financial math question that you're looking at now, and they're talking about somebody else, it becomes a bit too far from you. So play a psychological trick with your brain. Remove this, particularly for loan questions. Remove this Spogazi lady and put your name there. Put whoever you are. In my case, I would put maybe Sibusiso here because this is me. And then for some weird reason, when I read this question with my name in it, and I try to think about it as if it's me involved in this, it becomes more useful to me because I then think more, right, about what is going on. I think logically about what is going on. I get to understand what the story is all about. Do it in the exam. Scratch the name of the person they're using, put your name, and try to think about it as if this was you involved in this case. So this is me. I'm borrowing money to buy a house. And according to this question, the money that I need to borrow to buy the house, I've already paid a certain amount for this particular house. And we might not finish this question off, but I'll just give you a good idea of what you need to do, right? So the first question says, find the selling price of the house. Now, what were we told here? We want to find the selling price of the house. We were told that she paid 102,000, which is equivalent to 12% of the selling price. That statement literally translates mathematically to this. 102,000 is 12% of the selling price. It's 12% of the selling price, right? Now, if this is the case I'm dealing with here, we know that we are simply sitting with 102,000 is 0.12 times the selling price. So if I want to make the selling price the subject of the formula, I'm just going to have to divide both sides by 0.12. So 102,000 divided by 0.12, look at what we're having. We're ending up with exactly 850,000, which means the selling price of this particular house was 850,000 rands. Awesome stuff, right? That was an easy question. We just wanted to figure out if 102,000 is 12% of some price, what is that original price? The second part of this is asking us to find the period of the loan is 20 years, and she starts repaying the loan 1 month after it was granted. Calculate the monthly installment. So we're interested in working out the monthly installment, and this is basically that X we spoke about. And it must always be in 1 month's time. The first payment must always be made in 1 month's time, right? The period is going to be for 20 years. So we're going to use the present value formula for this because we're starting with a lot of money to try and amortize this to 0. Now you might make a mistake and ask yourself, what exactly are we actually looking at here? Well, we're going to use the present value formula. The formula for present value is P is X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n, where everything is divided by I. The examiner is asking for the monthly payment, so they're looking for X, right? If I make X the subject of the formula by cross multiplication, I'm going to end up with X is equals to P multiplied by I divided by 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of n, right? Then from here, we're then going to try and substitute all the stuff we know in order to find the solution to this. Now, what you need to understand is that the bank didn't borrow this person 850,000. She already paid 102,000 of that 850,000, right? So we need to subtract from the selling price. If the selling price of this was 850,000, subtract that 102,000 and then see what the amount is going to be. That's 748,000 in total that she is borrowing. So she's going to borrow 748,000 multiplied by interest. They said the bank is charging her 9% compounded monthly divided by 1 minus 1 plus 0.09 over 12 compounded monthly to the power negative. They said 20 years, so you're going to have 20 multiplied by 12. It then gives you an answer of exactly 240 payments in total. And if you put 240 here, you go to your calculator and then you try to type this out, you guys will definitely amount to a nice answer that will tell you in total what is the amount of money that this lovely lady will need to pay on a monthly basis, right? So now, unfortunately, we ran out of time. We didn't really get a chance to try and figure out what the solutions were going to be for the other questions that are going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back to the story maybe and guide you for one of them to tell you what you would need to do in order to figure out what the solution is going to be, because these loan questions are very, very popular. In fact, what happens is after you know what is the amount of money that you might need to pay every month, whatever you're going to get, that's actually what you will need to pay on a monthly basis in order to amortize the loan. A lot of things can go wrong during the repayments. She might lose her job and those kinds of things might happen. So in future, maybe when we come back on Thursday for the mathematics show of Thursday, we'll obviously get another question that looks like this one and show you what do you do then when a person stops the repayment somewhere in the middle of whatever they were making the repayments for.